Hey, what's going on guys? It's Paper here with another deck guide video. In this video, we're talking about an honest Lady Deathstrike build utilizing Nakia, Forge, and Okoye. This build was actually pretty strong at getting Lady Deathstrike into a better spot. The Forge buff really helped this deck out a lot. Captain Marvel and Dakin are alternate targets for our buffed cards, and we have Legion and Arnim Zola as kind of finishers for this deck in different ways that you'll see in the footage here really helped us out a lot. I have Snowguard in this list, who is a replaceable card. You can replace her with any one cost that you like, or even another destroy card like Killmonger to get rid of Dakin's Shard. I think that this deck was actually a lot stronger than I initially thought it was going to be when I first started playing it. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this list, so let's get into the first core. So the first core that we're talking about is the buff core. Now this is the core that consists of Forge, Okoye, and Nakia. All of these cards will buff the cards in your deck, which is really great for the strategy that we're going for here. If we get all three of these cards to hit our Lady Deathstrike will be an 8 power, killing everything on the location that is 7 or less power, which is really strong. It's very rare that opponents will have more than one 7+ power card on turn 5. So Lady Deathstrike being buffed by these cards is pretty amazing if you can get that lucky. If not, it's not really a big deal because we also have other cards that we'll talk about in a second that are targets for these buff cards. These buff cards are all very good to just slam whenever, with Forge being the exception where you want to kind of plan what you're going to play on the next turn following the Forge. Okoye and Nakia don't see a lot of play right now, but I do think that they are a little bit misrepresented as cards that aren't really that great. Overall, their stats are pretty strong if you get to play most of the cards that they buff. So these cards make up the buff core of the list, and we'll move on now to the cards that we actually want to buff. So the next set of cards that we're talking about are the buff targets. The buff targets are the cards that we are obviously going to be targeting with our Forge. Forge and also Okoye and Nakia are going to be used to make these cards stronger and amplify their effects to a massive degree. With Lady Deathstrike, we have the ability to destroy a bunch of cards on our opponent's side of the board. With Dakin, we have the possibility of once he's buffed by these other cards, his Muramasa Shard being destroyed will give him a massive power increase. And with Captain Marvel, we can get her up to a 10 power card, which is really amazing for the effect that she gives. You just have a 10 power card that can just end the game and go to a location and automatically win you the game. I think all three of these cards are really great cards for this deck. They all have very good outcomes once you get them buffed, and they are just extremely strong cards and also really great to target with the Arnim Zola that we also have in this list. The next set of cards are kind of auxiliary cards or support cards for the main idea of the list. I think these cards are pretty solid and they should be in this list. I have Carnage, Legion, and Arnim Zola. Carnage is great to destroy the Muramasa Shard that we include in this list for Dakin. That's the only way that we have in this list to destroy it. We also can include Killmonger or even Calling Wing as alternate ways to get rid of that shard. Legion is just a super solid 5/8. He cannot be targeted by Shang-Chi. He can also just straight up win you games when you have locations that really harm your opponent. And also for Arnim Zola, he's a great card to multiply the effects of our Dakin as well as Captain Marvel. And of course, Lady Deathstrike, if we destroy Lady Deathstrike with Arnim Zola and she has a large amount of power, we can destroy a lot of cards on our opponent's side of the board. All three of these cards I think are kind of required for this list, and we'll talk about some replacements for some of the other cards coming up here. So personally, I think that Snowguard is actually a pretty decent card. She doesn't hit every single game, but when she does hit, it's actually really impactful. For replacing her, however, I would recommend something like Iceman, who has the same exact stats as her, but has a probably more consistent and just a way better effect. Iceman is probably the best one-cost card in the game. He's up there for sure. Nova is another option. Nova combos well with our buffing deck as we are buffing the entire board with Nova, so it's another just positive in that sense. When we run Nova though, we do kind of want to run more destroy cards, so take that into consideration. Maybe replace Jeff with a Killmonger. You can also replace Snowguard directly with the Killmonger. Having more cards to destroy Dakin's Muramasa Shard is going to be an advantage in this deck, so that's another consideration as well. This deck was extremely fun to play. I had a lot of good plays with this deck. I actually had a lot more clips that I'm going to show in this game, but I really think that there's something here. Maybe there's some refinements that we can do in this list. Obviously, Snowguard probably ends up coming out in the final deck, but I do think that this list is actually pretty strong. If you do move to a more destroy-centric list, I do recommend maybe removing Jeff in favor of playing more destruction cards, just so we can proc Dakin a little bit easier and also destroy the Nova a little bit more consistently. So let me know in the comments below if you did try this deck out, what your success rate with it is. I'll be in the comments talking to you guys as always. Also, if you are not already subscribed and you enjoyed this content, please consider dropping a subscription to this channel. It's free, and also giving this video a like as it helps me in the algorithm. And if these YouTube videos aren't enough content for you, I do stream 3 nights a week over on twitch.tv/paper. The link will be in the description below, so give me a follow there to get notified when I go live. Also, I'm going to SnapCon this weekend in Tampa, Florida, so if you're in the area or if you're already going to SnapCon, let me know in the comments below. I'll be there doing panels as well as some game shows and just hanging out with all the community and hanging out with some of your favorite creators. So if you're not already going, give it a consideration because it's going to be a really fun event. Anyways, thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoy it, and as always, good luck snapping. So with this forge, our Deathstrike is 9 power. And then alternatively, we can play Captain Marvel. Dude, this is so annoying. What the hell? I can't interact with Carnage at all. We actually got like the thing too. Six power Deathstrike's not the worst. Oh, let's go. Not bad, not bad. And we got Zola. Zola kills his board. Doesn't kill my Dakin. Oh my god. Okay, I mean, okay. I mean, I'll take killing his whole board. Zola Deathstrike is really good, but you need to get into the right matchup, and this is like the matchup that I have this kind of built for, where you're against a bunch of 5 power cards in the movement list. The problem is I don't run into these movement decks too often, so I haven't gotten to use it in that way. Let me forge out of this. Isn't it a weird thing? Like, I want forge. Then we can play Captain Marvel for 9 power and then Zola the Marvel. Two 9 power Marvels is pretty strong, right? Okay, so we're just... we actually just have to Legion right now. Nice, 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 nice. This deck doesn't have a way to deal with that, so it's good that we're able to end the game early like that. Zola Dakin would have been nice. Whatever. Yeah, what's going on, Rogue? Happy freaking Friday, dude. I wonder if it's just like Captain Marvel, Miramasa. And then on the last turn, play Legion middle, turn everything into Mojo World. I feel like if we're gonna do that, we actually have to just like play out a bunch of stuff right now. Interesting. We have Prio, so if he does Galactus left... No, I'm not going to Boomer Snap. We Legion middle, we just have more cards everywhere. Unless he like dooms us or something, like we just win. Actually, we lose if it's Galactus. Oh wait, we don't, because we have more cards there. Oh my god. Nice. Now this deck is doing something. This deck's doing something for me right now.